today? What a dumb question.
Of course.
Of course.
It's
Dawn
fine.
Resnick, and how are you, dear? Good evening to you. Dawn, how many years since Julian passed? We can't hear you because you're muted.
Not muted now. It's going to be 14 years.
14 years. Ah, goodness. And while I have you, would you be kind enough to give me his Hebrew names, please?
Oh, it is
Eliyahu?
Yankel Baruch, Yonah Baruch.
Yonah Baruch.
Yeah.
And his parents, his father and his mother.
His father was Yisrael and his mother was Liba.
Liba.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we're almost ready to start. Jerry, you'll tell us when it's time, right?
Okay. It is time. It's past.
It is time. It's past time. Lauren, would you rather do Mincha or Ma'ariv? You're muted, so I can't hear.
I will daven Mari. Thank you.
Oh, welcome. Okay, I guess I'm it for Mincha. And so we turn to page 164, please, for Ashrei for the Mincha service. 164. אשרי יושבי ביתך, עוד יעללוך הסלע.
אשרי העם שככה לו, אשרי העם שאדוני אלוהיו.
תהילה לדוד, ממך אלוהי המלך, וברכה שמך לעולם ועד.
בכל יום אברכך, והלל שמך לעולם ועד.
גדול אדוני מהולל מאוד, ולגדולתו אין חקר.
דור לדור ישבח מעשיך, גבורותיך יגידו.
דע כבוד הודיך ודברי נפלאותיך עשיך.
בעזוז נורתך יאמרו, גדולתך ספרנה.
זכר אף טובך יביאו, וצדקתך ירננו.
חנון ורחום אדוני, ירח אפיים וגדול חסד.
אוהב אדוני לכל, ורחמיו על כל מעשיו.
יודוך אדוני כל מעשיך, וחסידיך יברכוך.
כבוד מלכותך יאמרו, גבורתך ידברו.
להודיע לפני האדם גבורותיו, וכבוד אדם מלכותו.
מלכותך מלכות כל עולמים, וממשלתך בכל דור ודור.
סומך אדוני לכל הנופלים, ותוקף לכל הכפופים.
לכל עליך יסברו, ואתה נותן להם את אוכלם ביתו.
פותח את ידיך, ומשביע לכל חרצון.
צדיק אדוני בכל דרכיו, וחסיד בכל מעשיו.
קרוב אדוני לכל קורב, לכל אשר יקראו באמת.
צאן יראיו יעשה, ואת שבתם ישמע ויושיעם.
שומר אדוני את כל אהביו, ואת כל אשריים ישמיד.
לק אדוני ידבר פיו, ויברך כל בשר שם קודשו לעולם ועד.
ואנחנו נברך יה מעתה ועד עולם, הללויה.
אנחנו נברך יה מעתה ועד עולם, hallelujah. We rise, Chatzi Kaddish, page 166, and just to point out that the Chatzi Kaddish marks a separation in the service itself, so you can get at a sense of the history of the service. Where you see a Chatzi Kaddish, that means that one piece and another piece of liturgy were combined together. גדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ועלמא יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון ובימיכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, אנו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם ולעולמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקדושה בריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תשבחתה ונחמתה דמירם בעלמא ואמרו אמן. We continue with the silent Amidah, which is not going to be so silent altogether. We begin on the inside back cover of the Siddur. We come back to 168 together in unison, and then the Kedusha responsively, after which we will recite the Amidah silently, directly to God. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול הגיבור הנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות, ומביא גואל לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ופוקד ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ופוקד שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי מתים אתה רב והושיע, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי מתים ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות מתים, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי המתים.
אשר שמך בעולם כשם שמתישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה אל זה ואמר.
לקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה אל זה ואמר.
קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוא כל הארץ כבודו.
קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוא כל הארץ כבודו, לעומתם ברוך יאמרו.
ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו.
ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו, דברי קודשך כתוב לאמור.
ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהיך ציון לדור ודור, הללויה.
ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהיך ציון, לדור ודור, הללויה. לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש. ושפחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד, כי המלך גדול וקדוש אתה, ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. Continue page 172 in silence. Please continue at your own pace. We pick up on page 194, Kaddish Shalem. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ועלמא דברה חירותי וימלך מלכותי, בחייכון ובימיכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולם מעולמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה ברכו, לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תשבחתה ונחמתה, לאמירם בעלמא ואמרו אמן. יתקבל צלות הון ובאות הון דכל ישראל, קודם אבוהון דבשמיה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עלינו 196. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. כי המלכות שלך היא ולעולמי מעט אם לא בכבוד, ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. We recall with love those who gave us life and shared life with us, whose yahrzeit is the 23rd of Iyar, Wednesday, May 5th, 2021. The following names are listed in our perpetual memorials at Chizuk Amuno, and they are inscribed in our souls and our hearts. Joseph J. Balin, Mally Leah Beck, Milton M. Frank, I. Leon Glassgold, Stanley Katzenstein, Marian Helsner Klein, Henry Meyerberg, Joseph H. Omansky, Beverly Pelovitz, J. Lewis Rome, Mary G. Rothfeld, Charles Weisberg. Jeffrey, did I get everybody? Okay. Yahrzeit and Mourner's Kaddish, page 198. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba, be'alma divrach חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה ברכו, לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תשבחתה ונחמתה, לאמירם בעלמא ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו amen. We turn to the evening service on page 200, and we're going to ask Lauren to lead us this evening. We rise, page 200, V'hurechu.
V'hurachum yechaper avon v'lo yashchit. V'hir ba'al hashiva po. V'lo ya'ir kochoto. Adonai Hoshea HaMelech. Yanenu v'yom karenu. Baruch hu et Adonai Hamborach.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Hamborach leolam va'ed.
May be seated.
Ata Adonai Eloheinu. El Kayam Tamidim Lo Chaleinu Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Ata Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim.
Amen.
Yedak Olam Beit Yisrael. Yavatcha al Tasir. Mimenu Leolamim. Baruch Ata Adonai
Shemo.
Yisrael.
Amen. Page 202.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. V'yavta et Adonai Elohecha b'kol levacha u'kol nafshecha u'kol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha l'derech uv'shachbecha u'kumecha uv'shartam liot al yadecha v'hayu l'totafot bein einecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha v'hayat. Le'ma'an yirbu yimechem u'mei b'nechem al ha'adamah asher nishba Adonai lavotechem latet lachem kimei hashamayim al ha'aretz.
204 at the top.
Vayomer Adonai el Moshe lemor daber al bnei Yisrael v'yamarta alehem v'yasu lachem tzitzit al kanfei Lehem L'Doratam V'Natnu Al Tzitzit Al Kanach V'Til Techelet V'Haya Lachem L'Tzitzit Oritem Oto Uzkartem L'Kol Mitzvot Adonai V'Asitem Otam V'Lo Tataru Acharei L'Avavchem V'Acharei Nechem Asher Atem Zonim Achareihem L'Ma'an Tizkru V'Asitem L'Kol Mitzvotai V'Yitem Kedoshim L'Elohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem lelohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Adonai Elohechem emet.
Wendy, would you please read in the middle of page 205 the 2 paragraphs? You need to unmute, please.
Start with where we affirm.
Right, we affirm the truth.
Okay, we affirm the truth that he is our God, that there is no other, and that we are his people Israel. He redeems us from the power of kings, delivers us from the hand of all tyrants. He brings judgment upon our oppressors, retribution upon all our mortal enemies. He performs wonders beyond understanding, marvels beyond all reckoning. He has maintained us among the living. He has not allowed our steps to falter. He guided us to triumph over mighty foes, exalted our strength over all of our enemies. He vindicated us with miracles before Pharaoh, with signs and wonders in the land of Egypt. In wrath, he smote all of the Egyptians' firstborn, bringing his people to lasting freedom. He led his children through divided waters as their pursuers sank in the sea. When his children beheld his might, they sang and praised to him, gladly accepting his sovereignty. Moses and the people of Israel sang with great joy to the Lord.
V'malchuto b'ratzon kiblu aleichem, Moshe b'nei Yisrael lecha anu shira b'simcha rabah, v'amru chulam, mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'chodesh, noah tibulot osei fela. Malchut karalu v'necha b'kei yam lifnei Moshe, Ze'eli anu v'yamru, Adonai yimloch le'olam ha'ed. V'ne'emar ki fadar Adonai et Yaakov, v'go'alo miyad chazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael.
Amen. Janine Fryer, would you please read? Do you have the Siddur with you, Janine? No. Okay. Wendy, we're going back to you. On top of 207, the top paragraph, please.
Help us, our Father, to lie down in peace and awaken us to life again, our King. Spread over us your shelter of peace. Guide us with your good counsel. Save us because of your mercy. Shield us from enemies and pestilence, from starvation, sword, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings. You, O God, guard us and deliver us. You are gracious and merciful King. Guard our coming and our going. Grant us life and peace now and always. Praise are you, Lord, eternal guardian of your people, Israel.
Thank you.
V'shmor tzeitenu v'oleinu l'chaim u'l'shalom me'atah v'ad olam. Baruch atah Adonai, Shemano Yisrael la'ad.
Amen.
Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen v'amen. Baruch amen.
From page 206, the bottom paragraph.
Ki hamalchut shelcha hi, lo me'ad timloch bechavod, ki emani melech ela atah, Baruch atah Adonai,
Shema.
Tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed v'al kol ma'asav.
Amen. We rise, Chatzi Kaddish, page 208.
Yitkadal yitkadash shemei rabbah.
Amen.
Yamal dirav virute v'yamlich malchute v'chayekon v'yamechon v'chayei tekol beit Yisrael v'agolav izman kari v'yimeru.
Amen. Ishmei Abba Mevorach.
Yitbarach Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitbar v'yitramah v'yitnaseh Yitadar v'yitalel v'yitalal shemei b'kudashah. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tishbachata v'nechamata damira b'alma v'yimru.
Amen. We recite the Amidah silently, pages 210 to 220. We speak directly to God in silence.
Oh, say shalom b'mrama, Uya say shalom aleinu, Ve'al kol Yisrael, Ve'inu amen. Ya say shalom, shalom aleinu, Ya kol Yisrael, say shalom, shalom.
Shalom Aleinu.
Yaakov Yisrael.
Kaddish Shalem, page 222.
Yikadash Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Yama dirachirute v'amlich malchute b'chayekon v'yamechon u'kayedekol Beit Yisrael v'agalav izman kari v'yimeru.
Amen.
Yiparach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramah v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudusha le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata tishbachata v'nechamata v'amiram v'yama v'yimeru
Amen.
Dikabat sloton u'moton d'chol Yisrael kadam aruhon divishmaya v'yimeru
Amen.
Lama Rabba Min Shmaya V'chaim Aleinu V'Yakol Yisrael V'yimeru
Amen.
Oh, say shalom b'mrama, Pluya, say shalom. Aleinu v'yakol Yisrael, v'yimeru. Amen.
Please turn to page 237 for the counting of the Omer. The Torah tells us that we are to count from the second day of Pesach, 50 days, to the day of Shavuot. And the festival of Shavuot is about the first fruits and the reaping harvest of wheat. So the two things that are important about the Omer is barley on the second day and wheat 50 days later. And so we recite in English the paragraph on 237. We continue with the Hebrew blessing. And last night we counted 38. Last night was 38. Together in English, I'm ready to fulfill the mitzvah of counting the Omer as it is ordained in the Torah. You shall count from the eve of the second day of Pesach, when an Omer of grain, barley, is to be brought as an offering, 7 complete weeks. The day after the 7th week of your counting will make 50 days, and that's when we bring the wheat grain. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kideshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu al sfirat haomer. Hayom 39 yom shehem 5 shavuot ו4 yamim laomer. Today is 39 days, which are 5 weeks and 4 days to the Omer, and you can see the end is very much in sight. We go back for Aleinu, page 224. Lauren?
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon ha'kol, v'kedula li'atzer breshit, shalom asanu k'goyei haratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chalkenu kahem, v'goralenu k'chol harmonam, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'motim, Lifnei Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Shehu Notesh.
ויוסד הארץ, ויקרא בשמיים ים, שכינה תזור, שכינה תזור, במרומי.
V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai L'melech al kol ha'aretz Vayom hahu Yeh Adonai echad U'shemo U'shemo echad.
Thank you, Lauren. That was lovely. We recall those who gave us life and those who shared life with us, whose yahrzeit is the 24th of Iyar, Thursday, May 6, 2021. The following names are listed in our perpetual memorials at Chizuk Amuno Congregation, and their names are inscribed in our hearts and our souls. Paula Berger, Lillian Brenner, Mendel Denken, Benjamin Hoffman, Arthur Leidenberger, Herschel Levin, Leonard Lee Levin, Jack Lewis, Harry Rand, Julian Resnick, Edward Roth, Harlem R. Schloss, and
we also recall Pauline Morantz.
Pauline Morantz of blessed memory. Yahrzeit and Mourner's Kaddish, page 226. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון ובימיכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב אמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עלמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקודשה ברכו, לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירם בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום ממרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. Zichron Baruch, their memory is a living, continued blessing to all of us. Services tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. Wishing you all a sweet evening. And as Josh Rosen has taught us, long life, long life, long life. Janine, would you share with us a memory of your dad, if you please? You have to unmute. There you go.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you. He he was a special guy, as many parents are to many children, but his sense of humor was one of the things that kept us all going, I would say, the most. Very dry, very tongue-in-cheek sometimes, but always had a joke on hand or a riddle of some kind. And my kids really loved that aspect of their grandfather, and he kept them amused for many a good.
Do you remember any particular riddle that he had that you thought was really wonderful?
Well, there's a couple corny ones.
That's all right. We do corny. We like corny.
I know. What's the biggest pencil in the world?
Don't know.
Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you get the idea.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Wendy, did you know your grandfather? Yeah,
Yes.
Would you share with us a memory of your grandfather, Benjamin?
So,
There's
as you
a
can tell, he looks like my dad, the ears and everything. No,
Very
my
nice.
grandfather was, granted, he passed away like right around Ray's bat mitzvah. So I was just 9.5 years old, but I do have fond memories of him. He was very artistic, and he taught me how to draw my first house. And fortunately, Max got my dad got his artistic ability, and also I didn't, but I could do a good stick figure, but Max did. No, I just remember my grandfather just, he was loving, and he was like a big bear, like I always wanted to hug him. And I just remember always sitting in their kitchen in their house on Oberlin at the table, And we would just sit there and he would draw. And yeah, no, I mean, even though I was young, I have very fond memories, and I know that, you know, just stories that my dad tells us, you know, he was a very hard worker, and very athletic. And no, I mean, you know, he had a wonderful life, you know, with my grandmother, and they made me drink orange juice because they put M&Ms in the bottom. So, but no, I do. I have wonderful memories of my grandfather. And
Was he
the
an
nice thing
immigrant?
is they have a tree that had like the little helicopter things that we used to put on our noses. And I remember always doing that. So my dad brought home one of them and planted it in our front yard. And it's amazing how much it grew. But like, that was definitely one fond memory of just sitting in their backyard and collecting those and sticking them on our nose. So it's something that my dad brought home and always had that tradition. And even when Max was young, I remember at the house, you know, even just anywhere. I mean, we were one, Max was one, we moved out of the house, but even just going somewhere, I would pick one up, open up, put on his nose and say, this is what Grandpa used to do. It's the helicopter.
Ah, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Wendy. And
Mhm.
Michael Morantz, would you share with us a memory of Mom, please? You need to unmute.
I'm working on it.
Okay.
My mother was the youngest of her siblings. She and my father got married during the Second World War. I consequently was born while he was overseas, and she took care of me. My mother was a registered nurse. She was a very hard worker. When my hometown, Youngstown, Ohio, decided to open a Jewish home for the aged, she was selected to be the first director of nursing and to set up that home, which she did, and worked there until she retired. She also got her nursing home administrator license at some point, although she preferred to be the director of nursing rather than the administrator.
Well,
She
that
was a
explains
very,
where you
very
got-
strong woman.
yeah, that explains where you got your career choice, right, Michael?
Yes, I'm quite surprised that it happened that way, to
Wow.
tell you the truth.
Right.
To show you how strong a woman she was, on the day she retired, she went grocery shopping. She drove home, was so discombobulated that she drove the car into the side of the garage. Not through, but into the side of it, came into the house and then fell down the cellar stairs,
Aye.
where she broke her wrist, at which point she got up, made the arrangements to be seen at the hospital, called all the relatives so that everyone can come over and visit with her and entertain that same evening.
You're a smart woman.
So,
But thank you, Michael. What a wonderful story. What a wonderful story. And thank you all. We collect stories. Stories are beautiful. They really hold everything together.
Can I say one other thing?
Please, please, Jerry.
John Means from the Orioles just pitched a no-hitter.
Oh, mazel tov, mazel tov. Does that mean we won the game?
We did 6-0.
Excellent. Well, and on that note, winning and no hitter, we, please God, will meet you tomorrow morning at 7:30. Have a lovely evening. Thank you. And please be careful and be safe.
Good night.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Good night. Good night,
Good
everyone.
night. Good night. Thank you.
Laila tov. Good night.
Laila tov, Nadia. Wonderful to have you.